Hi, and welcome to You Make Art Dang It! Today, we will be studying haiku. I'm Sonic, and this is my helper, Lisa. Lisa, say hi to the camera.
Hi.
Lisa, do you know what haiku is?
It's like syllables.
It's Japanese poetry with a syllable count. 5 in the first line, 7 in the second line, and 5 in the last line.
Oh.
Do you know what syllables are?
Yeah.
What are syllables?
It's kind of like this. Cafeteria. 5 cafeteria.
Cafeteria. That's 5. You got one line there. What would the second line be? 7 syllables. Food makes me want to go poop. Cafeteria food makes me want to go poop. Fart, fart, flush, flush. Cafeteria food makes me want to go poop. Fart, fart, flush, flush. There's a very simple haiku we just made today. Well, that was a very funny haiku, and that's completely okay. Haiku is a Japanese art form of poetry, and instead of syllables, they use this term called moira. Unlike English, Japanese syllables are the same length. So a moira doesn't translate exactly to a syllable, but when you're reading in English and you're trying to make your own haiku, it basically translates into syllables. So 575. And I'm not exactly sure about Japanese. I'm no expert. I am not a poetry major. I'm not a poetry expert. I'm not a Japanese expert. I am just a person who likes to create every single day. And the point of this YouTube show is try to have people create things every single day. And it doesn't matter. Art is art. It's okay. Everything's fine. Draw, write poetry, write haiku. I just want the world to be less focused on everything they can control and just have an outlet to make their own art. Okay, Lisa, let's read a Japanese death poem. This is by Hakuin, who died on the 29th day of the 10th month in 1806 at the age of 66. I wonder where the winds of winter drive the rain clouds. This is another Hakuin poem. What is it but a dream? The blossoming as well lasts only 7 cycles. So let's test this. But anyways, 575 is the way to do the syllables in English. Now, of course, it's not a perfect art form, but what we used to do with dear friends of ours, the Weird Warrior Yoga group, we used to sit around with a bunch of people at a party and drink tea, and we'd every season we would all write these collaborative haikus. Each person had their own haiku, and they built off the other one. We didn't know that we were doing this I didn't know. Maybe they knew. But I didn't know we were doing this in a tradition of many ancient and contemporary poets where people would sit down and write poetry collaboratively, and they'd be as filthy as possible, as funny as possible, as lightweight as possible. I think the idea that art is always meaningful, is always says something deep and makes you think, is nonsense. Sometimes nonsense is depth. And I think that getting around with your friends, writing poetry, laughing, having fun is just as important as writing something that is beautiful. And beauty is an interesting thing because the standard changes over time. It changes over cultures. It changes with people. It changes with social groups. But there's this idea with AI now that everything must be beautiful and be classical and be perfect. And the funny thing about that is they cannot capture beauty because they're stuck on formulas. Sometimes there is beauty in ugliness. There's depth in absurdity. And I think it's important for everyone to take time out of their day to make poetry, to make art, to sing songs, to paint, to doodle, to do anything. It's also important to receive art, to see art. So that's the point of this channel. It's called You Make Art, Dang It. And every single time we post, we will talk about art and we will do art together. And then you will go forth and I will go forth in our own separate journeys and create more and more art. Lisa, would you like to read a Japanese death poem?
Yeah. Leaves never fall in
Vain.
vain from all around bells tolling.
Let's read that again. This is by Chori. Died on the 19th day of the 10th month, 1778, at the age of 39. Leaves never fall in vain. From all around, bells tolling. Now, I would like you to enjoy some of the haiku comics and haiku videos I made in the month of April. In the month of April, I wrote a poem every day. They mostly ended up being haikus, but I also doodled some things, made some videos. So we'll put those in here where you're watching, and you can enjoy those and maybe be inspired to make your own. The point of all this is to just know that I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional artist. I am a person who has a day job. And I find this very helpful to go through the world as the world is, on its own terms.
Fertilizer smell. My brain is calcifying. Exhaust pipe honking. Shitting in the dark. The light is too bright for me. Migraine, blind wipe, flush. I'm sorry, honey. I may have left the beans out. Please do not toss them.